Alright, folks, this is a special request, and I'm going to try to do this in one take. Because I really just want to speak my mind about the Bob Ross Betrayal and Greed documentary. Um, and this is going to have a lot of spoilers. This is heavy spoiler territory, so if you haven't watched the documentary yet, go watch it and then come back. And you can see if you agree or disagree with me. Now, I spoke about this before. But I am a big Bob Ross fan, and I am still a big Bob Ross fan, even after watching that documentary. Do I think that Bob Ross is completely innocent and nothing to be ashamed of? No, I don't. I think Bob Ross played the game. I do think that he is a man who loves his art, and he loves sharing his art with the world, and he truly does love making people realize that they can produce that kind of artwork. And I think he's a great and wonderful guy. But like all great and wonderful guys, he's not completely innocent. He had his hands dipped in a lot of that too. Do I think that Bob Ross slept with Annette Kowalski? Yes, I do. I do think Bob Ross did that. Just the sincerity in Steve's voice and kind of the conversations that he recalled hearing, I do believe that. I could be wrong, but I do believe that happened. Do I think the Kowalskis took advantage of Bob Ross, bought and sold his name, and are making a ton of money from our beloved Bob Ross, who has passed on? Oh yeah. They're fully taking advantage of it. The Kowalskis are business people, and they're dirty business people. And I don't think it took Bob too long to figure out that that's the kind of folks they were, but he still did business with them. Mm-hmm. Right up until, he tried to make a move there towards the end, but the lymphoma was getting to him. I think that things were probably getting a little bit toxic, but I think he probably would have kept going on with the way it was for a little bit longer, because he got to be Bob. He got to do his show. He got to spread his artwork and teach people, and they just business people are not nice people. People that make money generally don't get there by playing nice or being nice. Do I think that Mr. Kowalski put his wife up to sleeping with Bob and kind of doting on Bob for the business? Yeah, I kind of think that. I kind of think that guy is probably that, ex-CIA dude. Pimp. Yeah, I kind of think he was kind of puppet mastering that, but I do think that Annette was infatuated with Bob, and I think that those people gladly drug him down to make some money off of it. Steve, let's talk about Steve Ross for a second. Now, Steve Ross, in his younger years, he was on the show a lot, and in a lot of ways, he was actually better at the painting part of it than his dad, Bob, was. You can see that his talent is pretty immense, and he still has that Bob Ross magic going on. But you got to remember, Steve and Bob split for a long time. They didn't even hardly talk for a long time, and I think it was because of the business. I think Bob was trying to build an empire for his son to carry on. And like most kids, they don't want that. No. They don't want to live on your name. Now, I think when Steve got older and Bob's friend Dana, as the years went by, they realized how much money that the Kowalskis with Bob Ross Incorporated or Industries, I don't know, whatever it is, BRI. They realized how much money that BRI was making, and they wanted to do something similar. But unfortunately for Steve and Dana, I think Bob was trying to make a wise decision by letting his half-brother have a 51%, but that ended up being the downfall of this whole thing because I think the Kowalskis scared Jimmy Cox enough into selling his part of the business. Probably threatened with all kinds of lawsuits and everything, and he just didn't want the hassle.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so I think Bob's half brother, ruined the whole thing for Steve Ross and Dana. But here's the thing: is Bob Ross Industries, who puts out all these T-shirts and lunch boxes and pencils and plushies and Funko Pops and everything else. The Kowalskis are making a ton of money off of Bob Ross's name. Do I think it's I don't think it's anything new. I think that's how it started, and that's how it's going to keep going until the Kowalskis are no longer around. I think that was a deal with the devil that Bob made a long time ago. And as far as boycotting BRI, perhaps I probably won't buy any more T-shirts or lunch boxes or stuff. I've got a lot of Bob Ross stuff, and I bought it out of love for Bob Ross, and my kids bought me a lot of Bob Ross stuff.
Yeah.
But that's, none of us kind of knew this story before this, so
Yeah.
it's not like I'm going to go out there and burn my Bob Ross plushie now. That's not going to hurt the Kowalskis one bit, but I probably won't buy anything else.
No.
You know what I mean? Watching the shows, because they own the shows. They run the shows on YouTube and their own little channel. And yeah, they're going to make money off of it.
Yeah.
The Kowalskis and BRI are going to make money off of us watching that show. But you know what? I'm still going to watch it. I draw too much inspiration from that show to not watch it. So as much as I don't like the thought of the Kowalskis or BRI making a money off of me watching it, I'm still going to watch them. Because, again, it's Bob Ross, and that's what he, I think, would have wanted is to keep spreading his message of you can do this too.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Ross is teaching art classes. It looks like he's doing pretty good.
Yes.
I mean, he just seems like a genuinely good guy, and I think he's doing pretty good. I think Steve went through a hard spot in the middle of his life, and growing up in that crazy kind of environment, who could blame him?
Yeah.
Dana is also a very, very talented painter, and I think that he's out there with Steve running a lot of art classes. I think he's doing okay too. I don't think anybody's lost everything to this.
Well, Steve could be getting some of that money that...
Yeah, now BRI does owe the Ross family some money.
Yes.
But they're not going to give it up.
But what I'm wondering is what happened to Steve's
49%?
49%.
Who knows? Who knows? See, we don't know all...
No.
We don't know all the business dealings that are going on. And it was a very good documentary, but you got to remember that it was very much from one point of view, Steve Ross's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's probably a lot more to this story that we don't know, and I'm not accusing anybody else of anything. I'm just saying that I don't think we know the whole story just yet. But it just seemed like the family got put in a tight spot. I wished it would have worked out differently. As far as the paint thinner giving him lymphoma, who knows? That could have been beating the devil out of that brush. Could have been beating the devil out of himself the whole time. You never know. And the big surprise for me was the whole... Like, I thought for sure this was going to be about the rift between Bob Ross and Bill Alexander, because I know that there was a pretty major rift there.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between Bill Alexander and Bob Ross is Bill is this big, loud, fun kind of personality. He seemed like a really good guy, but he was just so loud and hyped up.
Mm-hmm.
As where Bob just brings you down. He just calms you down, kind of gets into your soul a little bit, and puts you in the right frame of mind. as where Bill, you're kind of hyper and stabbing at the canvas, Bob. And just to be honest, the ladies dug Bob. They still do. You go watch some reactions on YouTube now. People watching Bob Ross for the first time. You can see the ladies just melting for him. So
Does have a nice voice though.
this hasn't changed anything about how I feel about Bob Ross, and I will continue to watch the show even though I know I'm contributing to BRI. I won't buy any more merchandise. I'm pretty sure of that. I would love to start following Steve and what he's doing, and Dana, and I can't remember the name of the first painting teacher that Bob had that was on there.
Oh, I don't remember either.
And then the last thing, the last big bombshell, was the guy from Germany. The Bob Ross Incorporated in Germany.
Oh yeah.
Where he said he found somebody in there signing Bob Ross's name on those paintings. Could be. Art is very subjective. Bob Ross's style is very easy to replicate. I mean, he taught you how to do it step by step. Any kind of skillful counterfeiter could replicate almost any one of those paintings rapidly.
Maybe the signature too.
Oh yeah, the signature would be the easy part.
Yeah.
So it happens a lot in the art world. And what I will tell you about it is don't buy a painting for the name, for the recognition. Buy a painting because it makes you feel good and it makes you happy, or evokes some thoughts, or makes you feel a certain way. That's why you should buy art, not because it was painted by some one certain person, even though we would all love to have a Bob Ross. I think probably the majority of the stuff that's out there is fake, because I think BRI has most of them locked up there in that warehouse. So, all right, that's what I thought. It's a good show, good documentary. It's been awesome talking to you guys online. My last video kind of blew up a little bit. That was very cool, seeing everybody's reaction and all, reading the comments. So you tell me what you think. Who do you think? I don't think anybody was completely innocent in this story. I don't think anybody was. I think I just want to know what you think. Who do you think was the main villain of this? Well, you know the Kowalskis are not nice folks.
No, not nice.
Even though they seem very nice in the...
very underhanded.
Remember that little Bob Ross Incorporated video that come out? I think it was earlier this year or late last year, where it was all happy and they were getting Bob in the Smithsonian and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We truly at this point only know one half of the story. I would love to hear a rebuttal from BRI. I know they put out a press release, but it seemed kind of a little bit lawyered up, if you know what I mean. I would love to hear them go on camera, maybe tell their whole side of this, without the lawyers. You know what I mean? I just want to hear their side of the story. So anyway, love y'all. Tell me what you think.
Oh, before we go, you're Jimmy, and I'm Marcedel, and this is Archeson's World.
Hell yeah, it is. Man, all the way at the end of the video.
I didn't want to stop you. I was going to stop you.
Yeah, don't stop me. I was on a roll.
I know you was on a roll.
All right, love y'all. See you in the next one. What am I hitting?
F9.
What the hell? Oh, okay.